Okay. Good evening, everybody, wherever you are. Welcome to the next chapter of the Complete Wellness Community Forums. We are blessed to have Diana with us, our queen of all things wellness. She is our meeting Complete Wellness's. She is Complete Wellness's registered dietitian, functional wellness nutritionist, 5 words. And people adore her and love working with her. So if you have any kind of issues, I invite you to see her at Complete Wellness.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I forgot it last time, but please feel free to post your questions during the podcast. You do not have to wait till the end. You can do that during the podcast. Feel free to ask any questions you want. And if you're interested in a particular subject, post that in the chat and we will do our best to add that to a future episode of this Community Wellness Forum. So without further ado, tonight's subject is an interesting one. I'm sure there'll be a lot of interest because it's an interesting topic.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight we're talking about sexual wellness. We're going to discuss all things sex in terms of the body. And very often we find in hormonal imbalances, which is something we see all the time at Complete Wellness. It's something that we treat a lot. We see that libido, sexual desire, sexual energy is drastically diminished. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about women first. What's going on there? You know, no one wants to lose that energy. That's an important part of being human, of fulfillment, physical fulfillment, emotional fulfillment, you know, between a man and a woman or, whatever. That's not a subject I want to get into right now, but a person with their sexual partner or partners, whatever it is. So when that's lacking, that desire is not there, it can really create a lot of difficulty for people and the relationship. So what's going on there, Diana?
So before we get into this,
I forgot I have to lower the sound on mine. Sorry. Is that better?
Yeah, you're much better. Okay. I was like, I'm hearing myself.
Technical pros here.
It's always hard. So one of the things, I just went to the Institute for Functional Medicine's hormone 3-day seminar, which was fantastic. And one of the things that they talked a lot about libido. And one of the things that they said was you have to differentiate between a sex drive and not being interested once sex is initiated. And I say that because I want to start off with that so that we can differentiate between those two things. One of the doctors who I really respected during the 3 days said she always asks people when they say, I have no sex drive. She's like, well, do you have a sex drive on vacation? And do you have a sex drive once sex is initiated? And if the answers are yes, she's like, great, my work here is done. Because stress plays such a role. Yeah, it's probably fatigue. It's probably like being overwhelmed with work, being overwhelmed with so many other things in life that libido literally just becomes an issue that sits on the back burner. But just something to differentiate there, because I think a lot of people just think that sex drive is something that should be on their mind or something that should be thought about all the time.
Got it. Okay. So let's say a person does not have the sexual drive or desire, whatever word you want to use, on vacation. in general?
On vacation.
On the
So
weekends?
usually what's thought there is a general lack of testosterone in women. So we see this a lot in postmenopausal women who pretty much have very little hormones circulating. We also see this in individuals with lower DHEA, which is a precursor to testosterone. Usually it's not the testosterone itself, which can be due to adrenal dysfunction. It can be due to various diseases, which is probably, less common. Yeah.
So I have a question about DHEA.
Yeah.
Where does DHEA come from besides the vitamin bottle?
It comes from, so some is made in, most of it is made in our adrenal glands.
So we produce it.
Yes.
And if our body is functioning hormonally properly, we should be producing a sufficient amount of DHEA.
Correct.
And so 2 questions. Why wouldn't we be producing enough DHEA? That's the first question.
First question is due to adrenal gland issues, whether it be that usually stress actually elevates DHEA, but technically lower it. Usually we see a lot of women with PCOS or stress in general, having high levels of DHEA. But lower levels can be just anything going on in the adrenals. So stress is one of those. Lower levels of cortisol.
Can you hear me? Just lost you for a second. You're okay.
Oh, okay. Inadequate cortisol production, just anything that would be missing that supports the adrenal gland. So we honestly start to think about vitamins, vitamin C, certain minerals, a lot of the electrolytes as like the foundations there if something was missing. Also just like not eating enough, not supporting your body, obviously. About vitamins and minerals. But that's also, honestly, we see it a lot with like people that are under eating or underratedly starving themselves.
Got it. So that's if a person is not producing the DHEA. As we get older, do we naturally, you said about postmenopausal women, but do we naturally produce less DHEA as we age?
Yes, we do, in both men and women.
And that's regardless if we're getting super duper amounts of vitamins, super nourished, super nutrients.
Yes, technically age is a factor, like no matter what. However, we can hack our age, right? There's a difference between like our biological age, right, versus our actual age. So yeah, you could see some healthier people for sure with higher levels of DHEA at a later age than others.
Got it. Okay, good. So we could also supplement with DHEA as we age. We meaning somebody like me in my 60s.
Yeah. I don't love to do it in young women, like premenopausal women, because it can cause it can cause acne and unwanted hair and issues like that, because it is such a it is a very strong androgen. But for postmenopausal women, it's a great thing to look into. And same for men who are low in DHEA.
And you would want in premenopausal women to get their bodies to start producing their own instead of supplementing.
Correct.
That doesn't make
sense.
Correct.
Unless they have like some adrenal issue, Addison. But yes, exactly.
Got it. Okay. So why else wouldn't a woman have sex drive?
So low testosterone is the main one when it comes to libido. But just an imbalance of hormones in general can make you have a lower sex drive. Lower levels of progesterone can cause depression and anxiety. That's definitely going to put stress on the back burner. Lower levels of, or I should say, lower levels of estrogen can do the exact same thing. Higher levels of estrogen too can cause like more feelings of also anxiety, more stress, like more insomnia. I personally would think that, like, honestly, any hormonal imbalance could easily throw off your libido, just because that's a luxury. Reproduction in itself is a luxury. So if your body's able to reproduce, right? You know that.
No, it's so funny. I've always heard that we are designed, like our primary design function in life is to reproduce.
It is, but it totally is the same way that we should be like high functioning, healthy human beings. But at the same time, if anything is off in the body is not going to put its effort towards reproduction. I think I've said this before, but our reproductive organs are the only organs that you can literally remove and the body just keeps on moving, right? Like, how many people do you know that get a hysterectomy and just keep on moving? It's really, it's a kind of a luxury.
You have said that.
Right, which is why when anything else is off in the body, hormones are automatically thrown out of whack, which is why if someone has underlying issues, whether it be stress related or gut related, you'd be wrong to just go after the hormones themselves.
Got to look at the complete
wellness picture.
Thank you. Got it. Anything else about women and low sex drive?
No. Just know that there's a lot you can do. You don't have to. Also, certain medications can do it. So that's one of the things that if you come to see us, we will ask you.
When do you think
birth control is one of them?
Birth control is one of the medications that really affects sex drive.
It can. If someone notices that they have a low sex drive and they're on birth control, a lot of people notice it's better when they're off.
We should do I don't want to get political ever.
I know. That's the thing. I know exactly what you're going to say.
We should do a show on birth control.
Mm-hmm.
On the different choices that are out there. I'm saying this because one of our patients is seeing a lot of side effects from her IUD. And her side effects are arthritis and joint issues. And being trained as a chiropractor, you got to look at the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
So let's put that on our list.
Great.
And which reminds me, I should ask for questions or comments in the chat. Please feel free to post any questions or future subjects. Okay, let's shoot over to men. Let's talk about low sex drive in men. It's also testosterone. That's a question. Is it also testosterone?
Oh, yeah, it is. It's almost always low T.
Low T. And why would a man get low T? Same?
From an inflammatory diet, the wrong kind of exercise or not enough exercise, not enough sleep.
Wait, time out. That's important right there. That's not a pun that I'm doing.
T.
What do you mean the wrong kind of exercise? Isn't all exercise good?
All exercise is beneficial. However,
interesting choice of words.
Yes, all exercise is beneficial to an extent, right? But if you disagree, you could overdo it. You could overdo running. You could overdo anything.
I think when exercise is out of balance, I think it could become problematic. And people don't realize it. That's another show we should do.
Yeah. Well, the number of women with hormonal imbalances that are waking up at 5 a.m. to go to a spin class on an empty stomach is astounding.
Got it.
Which is a whole nother subject. Okay. So with
birth control, exercise.
I'm writing these down. So anyways, with men, you want to make sure that, or they want to make sure that they are getting enough like weight bearing exercise, strength training. That helps build testosterone.
How much is enough?
I don't know. Is there like a threshold? I would say I like to just meet people where they're at and get started there with the idea of getting to at least 2 to 3 times a week.
Yeah, I sort of like the number of 2/3 weight, 1/3 cardio. And in cardio, I recommend high intensity, interval training, high intensity interval training.
Yeah.
So shorter duration, high intensity intervals.
Getting your heart rate up.
Getting your heart rate up, bringing it down. Bringing it up, bringing it down.
But yeah, if you have more adipose tissue as a male, you're going to have more estrogen. It's very estrogenic, which testosterone converts into estrogen when there's excess adipose tissue or fat. So
wait, say that again.
Testosterone converts to estrogen.
So, why would the body do that?
Inflammation. Or another reason is honestly toxins like BPA, heavy metals, xenoestrogens in the body, phthalates, pesticides.
So, if a man is producing testosterone and he is overweight and or eating inflammatory foods, his body is going to convert the testosterone that he's making into estrogen. He's going to not be able to build muscle. He's going to not be able to burn as much fat as he normally would.
Yep.
And to bring it into this show, he's going to lose his sex drive.
Yep.
Did I just get that right?
You got it all right.
Oh my God, what a horrible scenario.
It's a cascade, I know.
So I just thought of a bad pun that I'm not sure I should make. So a guy's really screwing himself up by having too much fat, not eating well. Bad scenario.
Being exposed to a lot of toxins in their life, yeah. Or xenoestrogens, which is like a really common topic that we talk about. Plastics, heating plastics, the soaps, the personal care products, the cleaning products you surround yourself with.
I like the word what'd you call them?
Estrogens.
Xenoestrogens?
Mm-hmm.
The root xeno, the Latin root xeno, comes from foreign. Like if a person is xenophobic.
Yep.
So a foreign producer of estrogen.
Yep.
It's serious. It's really serious.
It is. It is because you can block.
As I drink from my plastic bottle.
But it's all about like minimizing what you can. Like you don't need to be crazy to a point where you're stressing yourself out about drinking from a plastic water bottle. It's more that if you're traveling right now, right? So, but like and so you're going to drink from a plastic bottle. That's okay. But on average in your home, you shouldn't be filling up your plastic, I don't know the name brands, but plastic bottles every day, or like heating plastic is the worst. It's the first thing you want to stop.
What's an example of that?
Like frozen foods that come in plastic.
Ugh.
or like any, like even some meal delivery programs come with plastic and they're like, you don't have to take off the plastic lid, or like you do.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And then think about like the cleaning products you're using, anything with strong fragrances, candles. I upset a lot of people last week when I posted something about candles on my Instagram. There's healthier versions to all of these things. Someone else is a step ahead of you always.
Right. So it's not that you should never burn a candle. You have to be aware of the fragrance. Mm-hmm. Fragrance in general, like in underarm deodorants and what else? Fragrance.
Perfumes, like literally every single product, soaps, lotions, shampoos, conditioners, detergents.
Got it.
And the thing
Okay.
is, like, we're all getting exposed every day, walking around on the streets. Like, my floors, I think, are vinyl floors. I'm getting exposed from that, right? But it's minimizing your exposure because it's the cumulative effect of all of them.
Got it. Um, anything else about men and low sex drive?
It's really all about, no, I think it's really all about testosterone and whether it's being converted to DHT or estrogen. There's two pathways that testosterone can go down. And
And we
DHT
want
is,
DHT. What does DHT stand for?
no, you don't want it to. You don't want too much DHT. You want it to sit in the testosterone bucket. DHT is dihydrotestosterone. You want some, but when you have too much, that can reduce your testosterone because it's stealing from the testosterone bucket. And it also causes like male pattern balding, and then BPH, benign prostate hyperplasia, when it's too high.
So
You're peeing all the time.
we want testosterone to stay testosterone, not to be converted to estrogen, not to
A
be
small
converted.
amount to estrogen and a small amount to DHT.
So it's normal for the body to convert small amounts, but it's going to convert too much if the person has too much body fat, not enough muscle,
Right.
wrong kinds of exercises, bad foods, xenoestrogens, etc.
We have a question.
Oh, cool.
Good
I don't see
food
it.
for testosterone from Ben. So the best foods for testosterone are going to be healthy fats, monounsaturated fats like nuts and seeds, olive oil, avocados, omega-3 fatty acids from fatty fish like salmon, anchovies, mackerel, herring, sardines. Ironically, if you're really low, you could even focus on some not very much organic, unprocessed soy products can even help slightly. And then fruits, vegetables, lots
But
and
in
lots.
general, soy products are considered estrogenic, creators of estrogen in the body. So you should not be having tofu
Every day.
5 days a
But a
week.
little soy here and there can be beneficial. It's the people, a lot of specific populations are going way overboard with processed soy products, but I mean unprocessed soy. Like edamame or miso. Green tea, ideally like 3 to 6 cups a day if you're really concerned. A ton of fruits and vegetables. The more color, the better. And then lots of cruciferous vegetables too. And then avoiding too much alcohol, trans fats, barbecue, grilled, or like very processed meats, and just like very, very
Like
high glycemic.
salami and bologna.
Mm-hmm. Salami, bologna, and then also like the char you see on grilled meats too.
Got it. Are bad for testosterone.
Mm-hmm.
How about a very, 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 oh, wow, we are way, oh, no, we started
No,
late.
we're not. We started late. Yeah.
I got confused. How about a very popular subject, ED, erectile dysfunction? Is that a what's the word I'm looking for? Result of low testosterone?
It can be. It can also be because of certain drugs like SSRIs can cause them.
What kind of SSRIs?
SSRIs. And stress.
Why would a person take SSRIs?
Depression, anxiety.
So therefore, mental related issues.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. And what was the last one you said? Stress. ED can also be an early indicator of cardiac disease or some other kind of circulatory issue, right? We want a lot of circulation.
Mm-hmm.
And when that's not happening, it could be related to some kind of circulatory issue, whether it's in the heart or elsewhere.
Interesting.
So that's also something to think about.
Okay.
Do you know?
Also, we got a question about what are natural supplements to increase T. So you want to look why, right? If you can figure out if it's like idiopathic, you have no reason why it's not going to DHT, it's not going to estrogen, and you can't figure out anything else going on, then tribulus and maca are really good supplements to use. Ashwagandha, which decreases stress, so it's probably good for everything at this point. And then if you know that it's estrogen related, you can use stinging nettles. You're basically with hormones, you're blocking the enzymes that convert testosterone to these pathways. So you're blocking aromatase, which converts testosterone to estrogen with stinging nettle leaf or root. And then herbs that inhibit 5-alpha reductase, or that pathway to DHT, are going to be saw palmetto, stinging nettle, chase tree, black cohosh, and pygeum.
There's another supplement, and I'm spacing on its name, that blocks the conversion of testosterone to estrogen. Chris, do you know this one? Chris, oh my goodness.
No, I was thinking of testosterone by Metagenics. I use that sometimes.
Can't remember what it's called. Something, I want to say Chrisline, but she used to work for us, but it's not Chrisline. Chris, it's something Chris. I'm spacing on the other half. Can't think of it. Okay, so if a person wants a healthy sex drive, a healthy sex life, not that they're bad, but they're just not exactly where they would want to be. Is there one or two supplements that you could recommend, male or female, that a person might be able to supplement with?
Like a specific one, not the herb, but like a brand and a name.
No, and just again, not if someone is having a problem.
Oh, just to enhance it.
Yeah, they just want a healthier.
Honestly, then I would look at everything else. Vitamin D, that's a precursor. Like I would look at the entire body. Like I'd look at stress, I'd look at cortisol levels, I'd look at the entire person, as opposed to just like, unless you're postmenopausal woman, then I would really look at the person as a whole.
So vitamin D is a precursor to
a lot of our sex hormones.
Wow.
So
is that why vitamin D is sometimes called a hormone and not a vitamin?
Yes, that's what I was saying. Exactly.
Yeah, so vitamin D is really important, and low vitamin D is epidemic in
and people always go, but I always have low vitamin D. I'm like, that doesn't make it normal.
That's right. And just to add another layer to this, a medical lab will probably tell you that your vitamin D is normal if you're at 30. But in functional wellness, we're looking for 50 or 60. And as an aside, those whose vitamin D was low in COVID really suffered if they got COVID. Because vitamin D is a really essential component of health, overall health and wellness. If you don't know what your vitamin D is, you should know what your vitamin D is.
Mm-hmm. And you can easily get it tested.
Get it tested. Come to us. Come to Complete Wellness. We'd be happy to send you for it. Even people that get a lot of sun
are not close to the equator.
Not close to the equator, or sit out in the sun. You really have to get the sun on, on a lot of your body, a majority of your body, not just your face. So we should do a show. And you wear sunscreen, you wear a hat. There are so many ways that you can block the sun and not be getting your vitamin D that way. We should do a show on vitamin D. Write it down.
Done. Can't believe we've been done one.
Neither have I. Okay, where are we?
We are at 8:30 on the dot.
We're on 8:30 on the dot. Okay, are there any more questions? I think we've covered this topic pretty thoroughly. I'm sure there will be more questions. I'm sure that some people did not want to pose questions publicly. I certainly understand that. Please feel free to DM us.
We talk about this all day long. So I say the same thing when we talk about gut issues, but like feel free to DM Complete Wellness, myself. We will put you in the right direction.
Or me,
I forgot you have a different Instagram.
The two subjects that people are really embarrassed about are sex and poop. And it's the stuff that we talk about all day.
All day.
And it's interesting. It's, we're passionate about it. So feel free to reach out to us. We would love to help you. There's nothing that makes us happier than making you happy. All right, everybody. We're off next week for Labor Day, and possibly the following week. We'll figure that out when we get there. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you all soon.